You ever have one of those problems where your code relies on another API and that API being flaky or down or having the wrong data is messing up your ability to code? Well, using this tool called ProxyMock, you can actually mock out how those interact without having to write any code at all. I'm going to show you how it works here and then how to integrate it in your CI pipeline so you can set it and forget it. So this demo app called Outer Space makes calls to a couple APIs. This numbers endpoint, again, it's run on the internet, SpaceX publicly available API that it changes when there's new launches, new rockets, things like that, the data can change. There are some tests that are part of this like you would normally expect from a Go application, and you can run these tests locally on your own machine, build it, and that kind of thing. When you want to incorporate ProxyMock, it's as simple as adding these two environment variables. Go back to the preview. You can configure your HTTP and HTTPS proxy. That way it will work for both kinds of endpoints that I just showed you, some that are encrypted and some that aren't. Then you simply run your code. In the background run, ProxyMock run, and it will start to capture the traffic and build a directory of files. I've actually got some of these here that I've recorded from a previous session. You can see they get organized by which host name is being called, so you can see your inbound traffic and your outbound as well. And there's even an integrated viewer called inspect, so you can see what the traffic looks like. So you say ProxyMock inspect, and it will actually show you the data that's in all those files, and it's organized by timestamp. So I can come in here, for example, and see the call that goes to this downstream numbers API. My code made a GET request asking for the JSON version. It took 80 milliseconds to respond. And here were all of the headers that were returned and exactly the body that was returned as well. So I want to take this data and convert it into an automated mock so that I don't have to deal with the randomness that comes back from calling this endpoint. So if you flip over to the GitHub repo, you can see here I've got some actions already built in. And you can see all this code online. It's on GitHub in the SpeedScale repository called Outer Space Go. And I'll just show you a couple of examples here. So here's one where it wants to go build the code and run a set of standard tests. And we can see most of them are passing, but that one that calls that numbers API, the one I was just showing you, it's failing. And if I scroll back up and look for the details, I can see here what's happening. I was expecting to get that 3248 response, the one I just showed you, but actually I'm getting some other response. This is because the data is outside of my control. It's just a simple example here, but you can see how something like this can throw off your own code. I get an error, the responses are different. So what you can do is just incorporate ProxyMock. We already have a recording of the call. So add a step that will run ProxyMock in the background. So it's as simple as adding a stage to set up ProxyMock. This literally includes downloading the command line tool using curl and putting in your API key and then running it in the background. And you can just run it by saying ProxyMock run and give it that directory. So we've said, take these sample files we already have, run this in the background, and now this part of the demo is not that exciting. When you run your tests, you can see that everything is passing. That same numbers API is now passing. It is getting the correct response back here. And I added a little bit of debugging data to print out the headers, but you can see that these speed scale headers are being included in the response. So we know that we're talking to ProxyMock. We're not talking to the real service. So this lets us take control over the environment because the last thing you want is for your build to get hung up. So like I said, if you want to see examples of how this entire thing is set up, it's all here online. There is a make file so that you can see exactly how ProxyMock is being run and kicked off. It's this is actually what I just showed you, how to run the test with ProxyMock. Here's how to do the install. and here is how to run it in the background. So it's as simple as that. If you've got any questions about this, feel free to drop a note in this repo. We'll take a look, or you can join our Slack community, and we're happy to jump in and answer anything for you. Thank you very much.